Tamil Nadu has a rich tradition and culture that has evolved over thousands of years. History resides in the heritage monuments that stand tall across the state. One such structure that houses many tales from our past is Amir Mahal. Nestled within bustling Royapettah, this is one of the oldest heritage buildings in Chennai. It was constructed by the British East India Company in 1798. Amir Mahal is the official residence of the titular Prince of Arcot and his family. Their royal ancestors, who were the Nawabs of Arcot, ruled the Carnatic region of South India from 1692 to 1855. The old province, known as the Carnatic, lies between the Eastern Ghats and the Western Ghats in the peninsular South India and stretches across the modern states of Tamil Nadu, Karnataka and southern Andhra Pradesh. During the rule of the Nawabs of Arcot, the power centre shifted from the Mughal Empire to the Marathas and then to the British Raj.
I believe there were only 30 people who moved along with the Nawab, some of his relatives, some of the staff, the people required to run a place. At night time they used to use lamps instead of what we have now, the lamp post. There was no road, it was just mud roads, and the whole thing evolved and modified and changed, and today there are more than 600 people.
The Nawab of the Carnatic was established by Mughal Emperor Aurangzeb. In 1692, he appointed Zulfikar Ali Khan as the first Nawab of the Carnatic as a reward for his victory over the Marathas. The rule was that the eldest son would be next in line for the title. In 1855, when the last Nawab of the Carnatic passed on without a male heir, it gave the British the opportunity to annex the Carnatic by applying the doctrine of lapse.
It has a main building, which is the residence of the Prince of Arcot, his personal quarters, you can say. And then you have another extension, which is the second phase, and then the third phase where we have relatives. We have the Prince's mother staying there, one is my grandmother. And we have uncles and aunts and relatives and staff who are living here for generations.
When the Carnatic kingdom was annexed by the company in 1855, as per the doctrine of lapse, the Chepauk Palace, which was the official residence of the Nawabs, was auctioned off and purchased by the Madras government. The Nawab moved to a building called Shadi Mahal on Triplicane High Road and lived there. The British later presented them the Amir Mahal as they felt Shadi Mahal was not suitable for a Nawab. At present, Prince Muhammad Abdul Ali Azim Jah, his three brothers and their families live in the palace.
They were doing the demolition work. We extracted a lot of old wooden logs, the real old Burma teak actually. So they were the antique wood. So when they were doing the renovation work, they extracted a lot of the wooden logs, the rafters. So I remember when they were extracting these woods, we took those woods and then we carved those woods and made the furniture that you can see around.
The palace is housed in a property that covers around 18 acres of land. Robert Chisholm, the British architect who pioneered the Indo-Saracenic style of architecture in Madras, was given the task of converting the building into a palace. The architectural style still makes this structure stand apart.
So there's a close history between the family and the British that goes back for centuries, and they fought together. In those days, we were talking about a different period in history where people used to fight a lot, and they fought together. They fought against the French, they fought against the Marathas and others, so there was a very close linking.
Darbar Hall in the first floor. The hall is so beautiful at the outset. When you enter the Darbar Hall, it has all the regality of the Mysore Palace, if you could have seen that. We find 4 prominent Nawabs, huge life-size portraits hung on the walls. We find the royal insignia of the Nawabs on one side of the wall. We find a beautiful settee set around that place, and the lights, you have to see the lights to believe the place. Huge chandeliers hung here and there, beautiful Mughal lamps you can find there.
Old paintings are of the Nawabs and the princes and the British officers and the governor generals. Whereas the photographs, if you see, they belong to the politicians, the ambassadors, the diplomats. We have the presidents of India, the vice presidents, the prime ministers, the governors, the chief ministers, consuls general, ambassadors of different countries, diplomats of different countries. So they all pay a courtesy call to the Prince of Arcot, to Amir Mahal.
Photographs on the wall showing Jawaharlal Nehru, Rajiv Gandhi and other big names of the day visiting the palace stand testament to how the history of the city is tied to the history of the palace.
Palkis, we would say, in Urdu, or doli. So those things were used in those times. That was the culture, that was the trend. When there was a wedding, the bride goes in the palki. Today, I don't think it's in use anymore. So it's become like a museum art. And see, the whole palace itself is an artifact. Old photographs, old paintings of the Nawabs, those majestic paintings you saw in the main hall. So all these things are, I mean, there are many other things, like we have an old music box, we have the weather machines which used to predict the weather in those times, and old clothes, old jewelry, the letters which are signed by King George III. They date 1764, 1770. So all the things, people when they see, they go in like a kind of a And what I always mention is that when we were growing up, our parents made sure that we were not very special. I mean, we were as their children, but we were led to play and, mingle around with anyone without any restrictions.
This is obviously a really historic building in Chennai. It's not just the fact that the building in itself is historic and it contains so many historical artifacts and so many manuscripts that go back and reflect the history between our two countries.
Everything is planned and chosen and designed by the family itself. Like my father, my mom, both of them are very keen on doing up the place. And this extension where we are now, this is being designed and executed by my brother Nasser.
The Nawabs, even though they have not much power these days, they still hold a cabinet secretary rank.
So we celebrate festivals. We do official receptions are held here. We have personal functions. We have weddings, religious functions, including we have invited people from different faiths, the heads of different religions, and we have functions for them.
The normal gathering is about 200 to 400 people. In the main, normally it is arranged and organized in the main palace, in the main structure.
When the gates are thrown open for festivities and functions, people rush to see the opulence of the palace, get a glimpse of the historical artifacts, and acquaint themselves with the prince who lives amongst us. Today, Amir Mahal stands tall as a testament to the city's rich history and colonial past.